Hej! Hur står det till? Fistbump? Hej! Ja, men det är bra, det är bra. Välkommen, välkommen. Jag har precis riskat kopparna, hör du? Kolla. Är When was the last time you were here?
I don't know. I think it was...
Was this place was here, right?
Yeah, this place was here.
But not that place.
Not that one.
How's things going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to have you here. Oof, här var det ljust. Hoppa lite närmare. Kom, här, så. Welcome. I was initially going to record a Q&A for today's video, but I have a guest, Kalle Halldén, as we say in Swedish. How do you say that in English? You usually say it in English, right?
I usually say Cal Holden.
Cal Holden.
Holden.
In Swedish?
Kalle Holden.
Kalle Halldén. Med å alltså?
Ja.
Oh, nice. I did not know.
Not many people know that.
We were talking a little bit about our YouTube channels because we have kind of similar sized channels. I think yours is 600 or something. 600?
Yeah, 600 something, 660.
Nice. Total of over 1 million followers.
Yeah, between us.
That's sick.
That's a lot.
And we actually started out kind of similar times.
Yeah.
You know, when we had our explosive growth.
Yeah, the growth spurt.
The hacker B-roll a while back. That was like 2.5, 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that was 2020.
2020, in the beginning, so 2.5 years
early.
ago. Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a really long time.
But one of the things we discussed here today was, I wouldn't say burnout, but something similar. Getting bored or tired of making the same content over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Without having any sort of variation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, as you probably know, if you've been watching me for a couple of years, I've made a lot of tutorials. I made a lot of B-roll videos, I made a lot of camera reviews, and the last 1.5 to 2 years, I've been struggling a whole lot with trying to make something that makes making videos fun again.
Yeah.
Have you felt the same?
Yeah, it feels like I think we've had two different approaches to YouTube in that sense. Like I've tried to stick to a specific schedule of making a specific amount of videos, like one video every week. And that schedule, I think, is something that burns out the creativity of it. Yeah. And
why do you think that?
It's very easy to get stuck in like, this is the type of video that I'm making. And then you know you have to make one video every week. Yeah. So you like focus on, okay, next week, what video am I going to make? And then you're like, okay, I'm going to have to start filming this. And then you start filming it, but you don't actually have a plan for it. And then after a while, it's like you get stuck in this rut almost of like, I'm making videos every week, but I'm only focusing really on like, what is the video that I'm going to make and not how am I going to make it, or is this really the best video that I can make, or am I really excited about making this particular video? And yeah, I think that's something that I get really stuck in, and like I need to get out of that in order to like get back to making fun videos, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and we discussed that recently. For me, it's been more like the direction that I took is that as soon as I'm done with something, I just push it out and then just keep doing the next thing. That has been my entire journey, basically. Yeah. And something that I found to be very fun recently has been the Instagram Reels. Yeah. As you've probably seen. If not, head over to my Instagram. The thing that I think about with Instagram Reels right now was that I don't have to make a tutorial for it. I don't have to make a behind the scenes. I don't have to make something that shows people how I did it. I just make it because it's fun. And that shift has made me push out so many reels.
Yeah, so many reels.
But it's I'm gonna make a video on the whole result later on the main channel. When you shift the focus from having to do something because you want to teach every single time and just making videos because you want to make videos, that shift makes it more fun to actually create stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've taken a break now for almost a month.
Wow.
And that's like the longest time without videos.
How does that feel?
It feels good because I'm getting very excited about the video ideas that I'm coming up with. Yeah. And especially like thinking about the structure of them and like having time to actually like focus and plan out the videos, because that's not something that I've had time for in the past. And also like in the past, I've always had to select videos based on, can I actually make this video within a week almost? Yeah. Sometimes I've had longer projects, but mostly it's been like, can can I finish this within a week? And that also means like I have to edit that video and do all that sort of stuff. So usually it's like, can I film this within 2 days? And that means that the project sizes and the project styles that I can actually do are very limited. So that's really kind of strange.
But it's also a little bit that is how YouTube is.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta have a quick turnaround. Yeah. Everything has to go like.
But that's something that I'm curious of with you. Have you like, is that the style that you've been going for in the past, or like still are you selecting the videos that you make based on ideas or like what you want to make? Or
when it comes to this channel, the vlog channel, it's more about just documenting, as I told you. You know, we've talked about this before, you and I, where we just document things. I just document things and then make a fun video off that documentation that I got. But when it comes to making videos for the main channel or making videos that I want to perform well, I'd usually get the title for the video first. Like I have the idea for the title and then I start working through the bullet points off that said title. If I want to take it a step further, I can go into YouTube and see the search terms for that specific title and keywords and, you know, dive down the rabbit hole. I also think that when it comes to those videos, it kind of takes away the fun because then it starts to become this like hunt for views, hunt for performance, hunt for things. But one of the fun videos that I really enjoyed was the RC car videos. That concept was just me thinking about, okay, you know what? I have a fun idea. What if I put a gimbal onto an RC car and then attach my A7S III to that? And then execute, bam, push it out. Another fun video that we did exactly the same was actually Rivals. I was driving out to the studio one morning together with Edwin, and we were just sitting in the car, and I said, wouldn't it be fun if we went out into the forest and actually had a real gunfight, and then in the end we played Call of Duty? That was the entire idea. And he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then I'm like, okay, and we can do super overproduced, make it look super cool. And then 2 days later, we were out filming it and then edit and then bam, done.
That's where I want to get to, I think. It's like making videos based on like, what am I excited about? What do I think is like a good idea? The good idea part is difficult because it's like you always try to think of like what would be something that people actually want to watch, because
it's hard.
I have many ideas of things that I would like to make, but all of them I can't really make. It doesn't make sense to make them on my channel. So some sort of combination of like a good idea and also something that I'm excited about. I find your workflow quite interesting because there are times where you upload for like, you don't upload for a month, but then you upload like two in a day. And I'm like, what's happening? Why don't you like wait for a day or 2 days with that video? Or
this is a discussion I've been having with a lot of people. When it comes to content, I think that the more you're holding in your content, the more you build up some sort of expectation of how the content is going to perform. So if I, for example, make a video that I'm really proud of, then I want to push it out there as soon as possible. The more I'm holding on to that video, the more I feel that it's going to be the best shit that has ever been produced. You know, and once I release that and it doesn't perform, it takes away my motivation to do anything like that at all. But when I push it out instantly and say it doesn't perform then too, then I know, okay, I can move on to the next video. Right? So I think that holding on to something just because you think is not a good idea. I think you can do that occasionally with some videos that you want to work on because you actually want to work on them a little bit longer. If you're doing it purely for the sake of views, I just say like, push it out there, get rid of it, and then start with the next thing.
Start moving on. And that's also one thing that's been sort of a burnout factor for me. I'm not saying that I'm burnt out or anything, but just like feeling
it's kind of the similar feeling.
creative burnout.
Creative burnout. I think that is a good word. That's going to be the title of this video. 100%.
Good one.
Creative burnout.
A part of that is having a set date for when you want to publish the video, because then it's like I have to do certain things at certain times, and like I also have to produce other videos. So at the same time, it's like if you're doing multiple videos and you have a specific date when you need to be done with something, then there's a lot of pressure of like I need to get this done by that date. Whereas you probably don't have any dates for your videos. You're just like, okay, these are the videos that I'm going to be making. When they're done, I'm publishing them. And I think that's a way healthier approach to it in a sense.
Personally, I would never be able to work on a like schedule like that, because when you have a set date, it's like working towards a deadline that never ends.
Yeah.
Because every week, as soon as you publish that video, you have a new deadline.
Yeah.
You have to produce. In my case, it's more like I just make the videos that I think is fun and then I post them. The only time that I actually have deadlines is when I'm working with sponsored videos or with a company making something that is a little bit bigger than my usual videos, I guess.
And is that usually if it's just like a release of a camera or a lens or something?
Usually when we have signed an NDA for something and then make sure that you not release anything before it's done. But then it's kind of fun because that gives you the opportunity to actually work on the video a little bit longer, because you can't post this until this date.
So you can keep polishing it.
Yeah, so you can just go back into the project and then work on a different video and then jump back into the project and then do a different video, You
were saying about the fact of like holding on to a video and like the longer you hold on to it, the more pressure you feel.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's the same with like the more you tweak the video, the more pressure you feel?
I would say that.
Yeah.
I think the more I tweak a video, the less I get in return.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Right? Should probably do whiteboard time on this.
Oh yeah.
Oh. So when you first start editing a video, one of the things that you'll realize is that the initial time that you spend on editing the video is going to increase the video quality a lot. So for example, if you take all your raw files and then just put them on a timeline and start cutting them together, then your video will go from being very bad to very good in a very short period of time. And then once you start doing the different passes, the more you start getting into like going back and revising the edits and looking through the edits, the more you realize that the time you spend is not going to generate the same results as the initial edit that you had on your video. Red is going to represent video performance. The thing that you need to consider here is that just because you spend more time on something doesn't mean that it's going to have a better video performance. And just because you spend less time on something doesn't mean that that is going to generate a better performance. If you make a video just by doing this, the video quality from being just raw footage from the camera to going up here, that's a huge difference. But that doesn't mean that the video is a good video. Just because you think the video is good doesn't mean that your audience think it's good. So even if you spend a huge amount of time on your video, it can perform very badly in the beginning. But then as time goes, it can perform very good. But the same thing can happen with a very bad video as well, that it performs very good in the beginning but then dies off. When it comes to editing, it's very important to know that your initial passes off the edit is going to be the most different from your later edits. And the more time that you spend, the more you also build up kind of the expectation of the video performing well. That's going to conclude whiteboard time for this episode. I think that being a creative is very hard when it comes to knowing what you want to do and then maintaining that direction for a foreseeable future.
Yeah, and I think your schedule is something that I'm going to try to adapt and use as much as I can, because it seems like a really good way to go about it, because you hit the head on the nail with the thing about like every time a week passes and I publish a video, it's just a new deadline and I'm like stressing about
and that's why I think that when you're done with a video, when you feel that you're done with a video, post the video and then make sure that you have fun making your next video. But the only time that the deadline should be is when you are feeling done with a video. There's no time frame with that. You know?
But that's also like a double-edged sword in the sense of like, when are you actually done? It's like very qualitative. It's not like something that's
but that takes us back to the whiteboard time. You know?
True.
The more time you spend doesn't equal more views or more video quality. Like it's gonna be so small increments that it increases with.
I think deliberate practice is a thing, and I think that that's something that's important too when you're editing stuff, and that's how you actually figure out when the diminishing returns is no longer worth it, if it makes sense, of like editing the video.
And Kalle had a very good point of training. The same thing as goes for building muscles in the gym, building up your cardio, making sure that you burn the fat that you want to burn. You go to the gym in order to do those things.
Yeah.
And then the results come from actually going to the gym. And we took the likes of a pro athlete.
Yeah.
They train for several months and then they have like a world championship that lasts for 3 days.
Yeah.
So when we make YouTube videos on our channel, we don't have anywhere that we can go to train.
No.
And I think that for me, this vlog channel is where I go to train, where I have fun, where I make the videos that challenges myself and that I can see like, okay, this is going to be perfect to use on the main channel.
Yeah.
And having that mentality is definitely something that I think will help you continue your growth.
I think that's something that I'm going to be looking into, but I don't know when I'm actually going to start one up, but potentially a vlog channel coming at some point.
I'm going to link his channel down below.